Let's go. Boat first, questions later.
Malady grabs the vessel with 2 hands and pushes it into the water. She hops on board behind you.
God-woken. Wait till she finds out.
Salty water mists your face. Your skin prickles in bright, warm sunlight. The boat bobs forward through the water, and Fort Joy shrinks behind you.
Tired but victorious, the party made for the Lady Vengeance. The horrors of Fort Joy behind them. They arrived as sorcerers. They left as God-woken. The fate of this God-forsaken world now rested on their shoulders. Or at least, on the shoulders of one of them.
A light sea breeze kisses your cheek and carries away the smell of blood wafting up from the deck. In the distance, Fort Joy looms.
What were they thinking, standing against an Eternal? I almost pity the poor, ignorant beasts.
I'll be damned if I ever set foot on that island again. Don't care who I have to bury.
A hard-fought freedom, sure. But if spilling blood is bad, it shouldn't be so agreeable. Onward now. The sooner Fort Joy disappears from the horizon, the better. Perhaps the Seekers need help manning the ship.
Well, this is a fine sight. Utterly barbaric, of course, destroying a tree and turning it into a boat. Grotesque, but, well, look at it, Quercus. A floating nest, surrounded on all sides by salt water, pure poison to a tree's root. The great acorn could never reach us out here. Well, yes, of course we'll continue our research, Quercus. We're not monsters. Still, I must admit you were right about the shield. It proved to be more than adequate. No. Yes, it seems our shield is still here, Quercus. How does something so large and ungainly sneak up on a person? You give the giants too much credit, Quercus. I think the salty air has addled your mind. It has certainly been useful, but elegant, kind, surprisingly attractive. No, we have no time for your fawning. We may be safe, but the world is not. Come, we must return to our research.
Lord, so close to escaping.
Blessings to our fallen. Don't go any further, Godwoken. We need you alive. The ship won't sail. We had orders to search every corner of it and figure out what's blocking us. It's hewn from elven livewood. I thought I could communicate with it, but...
She glances over towards a smouldering pile of ash on the deck nearby. Something is nestled within it. Fragments of scorched bone.
That was Brendan. When the ship wouldn't answer my call, he touched the figurehead, and it attacked him, without warning. He burned, like he was made of parchment.
Her eyes flick over to the smouldering ashes once again, her head held at a despondent angle.
Thank you. We were held captive together, on this ship. He kept my spirits up. Now he's dead. Nothing. The ship is livewood, that much is clear. But I couldn't communicate with it. The Magisters must have done something, warped it somehow. I just don't know what. Just remember what I said, Godwoken. If you die, then this was all for nothing.
Before you is a towering figurehead carved in the likeness of a dragon. It looms over the bow, its fangs bared at the open sea. At that moment, the ship serendipitously creaks beneath you, almost like it is acknowledging your observation. Searing pain races up your arm. The ship senses you. It's angry. The pain in your arm subsides to a dull tingle. The scales on your hand are scorched. Searing pain, the pain intensifies. It's spreading past your arm, across your chest. Your lungs feel like they're on fire. The figurehead looms ahead, continuing its silent watch over the seas. Searing pain races up your... The pain intensifies.
I remember this one. His name was Kerben. His friend's sword couldn't save him, it would appear.
Blessings to our fallen. Pray that they may find rest. Hear my prayer. Show us the way forward. Deliver us from peril.
Spare me, Gareth. We got what we came for. This is what success looks like.
I won't see them tossed overboard. Not here. We'll hold a proper service.
What's-his-face and so-and-so would want us to get this ship sailing before all else. They died for those Godwoken, after all.
You know their names, Malady. Can't you even pay them that much respect?
Gareth inhales sharply, then catches you out of the corner of his eye and smiles, barely.
Our guest stirs. Welcome, Godwoken. Glad to see you safely aboard.
Very glad indeed.
Too many.
One too few, actually. Alexander, he's alive.
He's in the hold below decks. Unconscious, but alive. Question him. Someone has been hunting your kind, and Alexander fancies himself the only Godwoken worthy of ascending. As far as we know, you may even be the last still alive. If Alexander is guilty, he'll face justice. Yes, we certainly had better, but the ship won't move.
She's mute. We need to free her tongue.
You're welcome to try, though I doubt it'll help.
What Gareth means to say is don't bother. Livewood will only move when it wants to, or in this tub's case, when it's forced to. That's right. The ship's made of an elven ancestor tree, the spirit of which is still trapped in every plank. What we need is a way to control the bloody thing.
The Seekers, the survivors of us, have been combing the ship from bow to rudder. It hasn't been easy. This place is laced with dark magic.
These Seekers have such a limited skill set.
We lost a man in the search. Malady might not appreciate that, but I do. And I hope you do too.
I'm sure the Godwoken will be able to get the ship moving. They kind of like to feel useful, don't they?
It's your best that'll save us all.
Farewell, Mattis. You did the Seekers proud.
Freedom's so close. We have to set sail.
We're lucky to have made it this far. But our luck will be for nothing if this ship doesn't take sail soon.
Alright. Now my scales are singed.
There has to be.
Think, damn it. Where would the Magister hide something?
Alright. Now my scales are singed.
There must be some way to get this ship.
Let's team up, you and me. What do you say? Suit yourself.
He drags a comb through his beard. His face bears the scars of a hearty life, but his whiskers glisten as if glazed.
This boat's a treasure. Alice wouldn't know what to do with her. This boat's a treasure. Alice wouldn't know what to do with her.
I must say, you may not be an Eternal, but you are certainly not as temporary as many of your fellows. You handled yourself well. Personally, I am just glad that I do not have to walk back to Reaper's Coast. Wind travel may be primitive, but it is at least efficient. Is there not enough reason to speed away? If you must know, there is an excavation site at the Black Pits on Reaper's Coast. I go to seek answers. The only treasure worth digging for. Knowledge. I was investigating a site where several artifacts of my people have been found. Some were even intact. Alas, I was not the only one there. Those red-robed idiots were scurrying about too, trampling precious clues under their ignorant boots. They caught me when I failed to correctly respond to their questions, and dragged me here. Still, it's good to be on the move again. They simply asked me what I was doing there, and I simply told them to be gone from my lands. I may have used the phrase pathetic mortals. Come to think of it, I may have used it several times. Damn fools. The faster we leave them behind, the happier I shall be. Ah, yes. I have heard that your people enjoy various fermented fruits and vegetables. It often seemed to be involved in... Pardon? Was that an invitation? Were you trying to initiate some form of mating ritual? Oh, my pardons. I fear I'm rather unaccustomed to your... customs. Although perhaps you would be interested in a companion of another sort. I need to travel to the Black Pits oil field, near Reaper's Coast. But my attempts at staying under the cover have not gone well to date. Given how well you handled yourself in Fort Joy, I rather think you could be of use. And I am certainly useful to you. So, how about it? I travel with you and aid you in your various chores and tasks, while you help me to remain incognito. Very well. Let's be off.
Now is not the time for a bath.
Melody says if we can get the ship to move, we can go home.
Home!
All that fighting will be worth less than nothing if we can't get this tub moving. Dallas's heart. Spiders of disappointment.
The silent monk leans forward slightly and stares at you straight in the eyes. She seems eager for you to say something.
How you doing? You creatures with your legs and arms and your opposable thumbs. You always want to steer the ship. You need to trust the ship. It knows what it's doing. It dances to the tune. It goes la 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 la, or something like that. It's pretty catchy, but I can't remember how it goes. Good thing Dallas had that book, eh?
Where would I hide something important if I was...
Oh, she opened it and looked at the marks on the inside. How the hell else? All right. Go to the nose bit of the ship, open the book, look at the markings inside it, sing the song. That's it. Get it right and the ship will dance to your tune. Get it wrong and the ship will kill you. That's always entertaining. For me, anyway.
Where would I hide something important if I was a Magister?
You made it out. I'll be honest, I wasn't sure you had it in you, but I'm glad you did. Hero of the Seekers, eh?
An amused expression crinkles the crow's feet at Iffin's greying temples. His face looks a lot older than the bright green eyes gazing out.
Nice to meet another so-called Godwoken. I'm gonna hunt down my old pack leader and find some answers. The Lone Wolves have been tasked with killing Godwoken. I'm Godwoken, and a Lone Wolf. That's a problem. Say, on the way there, I could use someone to watch my back. And it looks like you could use someone to watch yours. Want to team up? Like I said, suit yourself.
There's got to be some clue. Dallas would have trusted someone with the secret, wouldn't she? Unless there's someone still inside.
Allies for hire.
I've got sword fighters, mages, archers, all willing to fight by your side if the price is right.
There's got to be some clue. Dallas would have trusted someone with a secret, wouldn't she? Unless there's someone still inside.
Whatever type of companion you need, I can provide.
Hey! You're here! Pretty nice boat, eh? We got an upgrade.
They won't let you down.
There's got to be another way to get it going, but we can't find a way into Dallas's room. Maybe you can see something we can't.
The door seems like any door, at least at first. Then you notice it's unblemished wood. There is no knot, no scratch, no dent to detract from its apparent perfection. The wood groans and creaks. For a moment, you swear a face appears in the wood. A face tortured and tormented, a six-sided shape carved upon its forehead. The face vanishes. The door remains closed. It seems you need more than a password to open it. The door remains unmarked. The thud of your fist upon the wood resonates deeper than you'd expected it to. It turns into what sounds like a moan. then echoes away into silence. The door remains unmarked. The anguished face appears, then vanishes. The door remains unmarked. The door stays resolutely closed.
Speak to me if you're looking for hired help. I've got good fighters of every stripe. They know how to keep their mouths shut too, as long as there's gold in it for them. So, what'll it be? I've plenty of fighters for hire, experts in blades, bows, and bewitchment. So, what'll it be? No one's ever regretted having extra help in a fight. I'll guarantee you that. Hey, don't I know you from somewhere? So, we've got quite the task on our hands, haven't we? I have to admit, the whole thing is very intriguing. The old band back together again, hmm? I guess that depends, doesn't it? Look at me. Hard. What do you see?
Lohse leans back slightly, thin arms crossed in front of her chest, and stares at you defiantly from dark eye sockets, darker and deeper set than when you first met. She blows back a lock of white hair, matted with sweat and grime, and holds back a smile from the corners of her lips.
You'd be swinging from the end of a rope, not locked up in here.
Magister Randy, Corker's mate for the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance.
You keep saying that. It won't save you.
Seriously? Look at me. I look like lukewarm death. This isn't a joke anymore. You see that, don't you? I want to make sure you understand, well, the risks. You don't get it. I'm dangerous. You have to pay attention. You have to be willing to hurt me if I'm hurting you or someone else. Can you do that?
I ought to chain you up like your lot did to me.
Magister Randy, Corker's mate for the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance. Enough!
Do I ever? Still sore from that one. At the time, I wanted you to defend me. I didn't realize how bad things had gotten. I know better now.
Being behind bars suits you, murdering.
Something like that happens again, you do what needs to be done. Deal?
Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance.
Can't you say anything else?
Either you'll do it or you won't. You have to choose. Well, all right then.
She pinches your cheek, a sparkle in her dim grey eyes.
I knew I could count on you to murder me in a pinch. Let's go, Chief.
The Seeker flexes her arms stiffly. Her joints audibly pop. She sees you draw near.
You Godwoken. Without your help, I'd likely still be a prisoner around here, not guarding Alexander the bloody divine himself.
She nods her thanks and immediately winces, laying her hand on the back of her neck.
I wish. No, the Magisters kept me chained to the bulkhead. Arms held above me head, feet barely able to touch the deck. Now my joints are paying the price. We're a big bloody target on our backs. We took their leader and their flagship. The Hammer won't stand for that. She'll be hunting for us.
The Seeker throws a toxic look at the imprisoned Magister.
Hardly. She's just some deckhand. If it were up to me, I'd tie her to the main mast and use her for arrow practice. But Malady wants her alive for now. Good luck getting anything out of either of them. Our special guest is out cold, and the other one ain't in much of a talking mood.
A young Magister paces around the brig, fussing over Alexander's unconscious form. She leans over and applies a damp cloth to his brow. She notices you observing her. She straightens her back and sets her jaw in a defiant scowl.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance. That's all the information I'm giving to any of you lot, so stow your questions, lizard. Ranley, Corker's mate, Lady Vengeance. Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the...
The Magister falls silent, but stares at you with unwavering defiance. There's a shift in the Magister's expression, a flicker of doubt. Then...
I'm a good Magister, loyal. But Dallis, something about her has changed. She's toying with dark magic, like a common sorcerer. She used to sing to the ship. It let her control it. She had this old book of hymns and incantations. It was only ever in her hands, or else locked away in her cabin at the stern. That's all I know.
Whatever that Magister told you, I hope it helps.
We've braved the joy, and I lust for further adventure. What say you? Shall we continue our journey together?
You're not quite certain you'll ever sleep soundly with Sabine in any sort of proximity, but at least she's on your side, for the moment. The door seems like any door, at least at first. Then you notice its unblemished wood. There is no knot, no scratch, no dent to detract from its apparent perfection. The wood groans and creaks. For a moment, you swear a face appears in the wood. The face vanishes. The word goes unheeded. You will need more than a password to enter, it seems.
No one's ever regretted having extra help in a fight. I'll guarantee you that.
have to set sail.
There must be something around here. Something we're missing.
Void Slayer, Worm Killer, Godwoken. You have many names. Let's add ship's captain to the list once we get this thing moving, shall we? She's not exactly a seeker. She's not exactly an elf either. Half demon, Meister Siva says, and I don't doubt it. I don't know how Siva came to know her, but Malady's a proper ally. She's not easy to like, but there are times I admire her coldness.
Gareth fingers the hilt of his blade. He stares at nothing in particular before turning his gaze back to you.
I won't let the fallen be forgotten. I'd be no better than Dallas, no better than Alexander, if I just tossed their remains into the sea. To think that whelp spawned from greatness. He deserves no better fate than his silent monks. All this blood. Children ripped from families. Seekers ripped from me. He's down there now, guarded like some precious jewel, rather than leashed and flogged like the dog he is. Amazing to think those of us in the Order once assumed the gods were with him, and only him. That was before we found the others. Other Godwoken. When Lucian died, we waited, and waited some more. Alexander never rose to divinity. Then we started to find more like him. We weren't the only ones who noticed either. Not every Godwoken we found was alive, and so the Seekers were born. We found Godwoken, housed them, fed them. I loved them like family. I was naive. But let's leave the past in the past and reach for what's ahead. Driftwood, of course. Little fishing village. Not very welcoming, but you'll brighten it up, I'm sure. Got family near there. Not the adventuring types. For the best, really. Meister Siva's there too. One of your kin. My leader. Our leader. She held the Seekers together when we had every reason to fall apart. Think of her as a teacher. The powers of the Seven stir in you. She'll reveal them to you. Show you how to manipulate them. Keep Lucian close, Godwoken.
The figurehead looms ahead, continuing its silent watch over the seas. Searing pain races. The pain in your arm subsides to a...
We can't get this ship moving, Godwoken. We have every free hand looking into it. Help, if you can.
We have to set sail.
She's a fickle business. She's mine, damn it.
I've spotted something.
I've got sword fighters, mages, archers, all willing to fight by your side if the price is right. Whatever type of companion. You can put a price on the warriors I have for hire, but you can't put a price on the glory they'll win you. Too late for that now, Red. The bell No one ever regretted having extra help in a fight. I'll guarantee you that. I've got sword fighters, mages, archers, all willing to fight by your side if the price is right.